Culture Gone Bad is back with a very special episode.
Yeah, we've got a beautiful woman in a cat suit today. So her name is Trishna, but we will let Trishna introduce herself because we're going to talk about her brand. Trishna is a businesswoman, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Yourself?
Yes, I am.
Where are you from?
Where are you from? Where are you from? Who are you? Why are you here?
Yeah, how did you end up in our pod?
So hi guys. My name is Trishna. And apart from being friends with these two cool cats, I am the director and founder of Kohl Kreatives. Kohl Kreatives is basically an inclusive beauty brand, but it's actually so much more than that. It really is a piece of my home, which is Hong Kong. It's also a really big part of a big increasing movement in inclusivity, which I think it's quite exciting to be at the beginning of, because I feel like as we've kind of evolved over each collection, things have changed, things get added on. It's been very organic, but also exciting at the same time.
Yeah. So speaking about inclusivity, can you talk about your very diverse and mixed and amazingly rich background? Because you mentioned Hong Kong, but you're also American.
Yeah, it's a whole bag. So I was born in Hong Kong, grew up there until I was about 18, moved over to the UK. I am actually American, but I'm also ethnically Indian. So it's a lot of stuff going on.
Right. And Trishna, what encouraged you to be interested in makeup? Because it's like fashion. It's often been criticized or perceived as something superficial. But when you turn it into a serious business, just like fashion is a big business, what do you think was the starting point? Or was it some event or something which you thought about? Maybe you saw a dream.
I think, yeah, maybe. It wasn't as romantic, to be honest. I think it was a combination of two things. It was one where I really struggled with my health, the environment. Thank you. I struggled with my health a lot because of the environment. So something that you have to realize, as amazing and exciting as Hong Kong is, it's really close to China. So what that basically means is that with all the production happening kind of in the border in Guangzhou and Guangdong and Shenzhen, it blows over into Hong Kong. And that means that people have a lot of chronic illnesses. For me, that was asthma. And kids are evil sometimes, honestly. And I had a little bit of an issue because of the pollution. I wasn't allowed to go out and play. And so as a result, I kept having to go and stay inside during break time. And then they would come back and then they would bully me because I was that weird kid that wasn't allowed to be outside. So things like that would constantly happen and really took a knock on my confidence. And so I really used makeup as like a discovery, it was just, for me, it was just something that gave me that confidence to be more comfortable in my own skin. Granted, it was purple and green and blue, and I was a bit unfortunate looking, like that was also a thing. And so when you put together all those different elements, makeup, definitely, I say it was like putting makeup on a donkey. The donkey feels a lot better if it doesn't change that it's a donkey. So I don't think it drastically improved my experience at all, but it definitely gave me the confidence. I really think if I didn't have makeup, I wouldn't be as confident as I am today. I think that's fact.
Wow, amazing.
So there is one element, though, that we didn't mention yet. I mean, you did mention the inclusivity of your brand. Now, your brand is not just a brand that creates makeup. And that's it. Has a very, very specific mission and purpose. Can you talk about this a little bit? And also how your personal interest in makeup turned into something more social, if we can use this word, this old-fashioned word.
I think what was really interesting about the social impact of makeup was the fact that after going through what I went through, which is, a scratch on the surface for what some people truly go through with their appearances and what they feel like in their struggle, I really realized that like this was something that I loved like a lot. And when I was 16, that kind of charitable cause element comes in. So there was a Save the Street market. Hong Kong is renowned for having these beautiful street markets, some for goldfish, some for food, fruit, vegetables, like meat, you name it. And when you look at that and you think about those things and you think about those elements in life, you just realize, like, actually, you know, commercialization tears a lot of things down. And so that was my first foot in the door, where with this Save the Street Market fashion show, I ended up getting sponsorship by MAC Makeup. And MAC Cosmetics was my first kind of like seal of approval. You know, they were like, yes, we believe in you. Your ideas are great. You can do this, like, you know, go for it. And as time kind of went on, I realized, you know, there are a lot of people that struggle with their identity, not because of their choice. So people that are trans, people going through cancer, chemotherapy, vitiligo, alopecia, you name it. And so we then used cosmetics to support people and teach them how to use these techniques, how to use these tips and tricks to make themselves feel whole again, or make themselves just feel like they're protected against their everyday life. So what we mainly do, to be honest, is offer reintegration service for people so that they can reintegrate using makeup as a way to, like.
And you do workshops as well?
Yes.
To teach them how to apply makeup?
Exactly. So these workshops, there are 40 of them a week now, which is great. And they're all for free. And the whole idea is, like, you buy our brushes and we're supporting these workshops, and we're working in, you know, different countries, from places that I've never been to before, like Romania, which sounds wonderful and amazing. And we have a really great community there and some really fun workshops there, as well as, you know, the little centers. I mean, I've done workshops in person as well in secure facilities. And there were some really amazing stories of people that were transitioning gender, were unaccepted by their families. I remember there was this woman, Katie, a trans woman. And she was so tired of living the way that she was in this man's body. She very ritualistically ended up setting all her clothes on fire, drinking alcohol, and passing out. Unfortunately, as she set her apartment on fire, the whole building caught fire. Now, she survived, but somebody upstairs passed away. So then that's manslaughter charges.
Yeah.
So she was now even more unhappy, living with third-degree burns in the UK.
In the UK?
Yeah, living with third-degree burns, already not happy with what she looks like, and living in a men's secure facility. So we then worked with her over a year. And at the end of the year, she came out to her ward as a trans woman.
Oh, wow.
And it was pretty amazing. It's pretty powerful. I think those moments are so special. And the fact that it's makeup, hair, beauty, looking like yourself, recognizing the person in the mirror, if that can create that kind of reaction so positively from coming from something so dark, I love it. It's great.
Yeah, also because in the way in which we speak about trans issues has completely lost the social element of it. Everything is on what you think, what you are, what you identify as. And we often forget the fact that when you're trans, it's not just about what you feel and what you are, but also about social validation. And that comes through appearance. It's not right or wrong, it's how it is. In fact, until a couple of years ago, now it's not the case anymore, but until a couple of years ago, trans people in their process of transitioning were very often asked by their psychologists to notice signs of social approval. For instance, you ask where the bathroom is and they send you to the female bathroom instead of the male bathroom. So this, because it's very important, and we often in this very individualistic world, we are losing the touch with this, with the importance of human contact and social validation, which, I mean, is not right or wrong, it's how it is.
Yeah.
So, but I wanted to go back 1 second to your product, because your product is mainly, we will show some products in a minute, but your product is mainly brushes, and mainly the core of your core business is brushes. Now, your brushes are thought in a very intelligent way, or conceived in a very intelligent way. Can you talk about the process through which you conceive your brushes? Because I think that's the one thing that sets your brand apart from any other brand.
I think when I started working on the workshops, because I think it's really important to understand that the workshops came first. I was very happy working in banking. Don't laugh. Working in banking.
You worked in banking?
Yeah.
Did you know that?
So
Did you know
I didn't last very long. So I was very happy, like, setting my life on corporate track. running workshops for free with the money that I was making, because that's how much I loved and felt passionately about makeup. But of course, getting a visa was a pain. It was super hard. It was super competitive. I didn't actually love it either. Like, I'm not that good at math.
Was it in the UK?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So then I was like, how can I stay in the UK? How can I get my visa, but also fulfill what I really want to, which is run these workshops? And then I was like, oh, in order to run workshops, you need to have sustainability. But sustainability from a financial sense, right? Because sustainability is a holistic thing. People always think about sustainability exclusively from a product manufacturing perspective, but really sustainability is also the longevity of how you're going to keep something going in a realistic manner. So from that perspective, we were stuck. I mean, I wanted to run these workshops and I had no way of doing it. And so I really needed to think of what is something that we could create? What is something that I could sell for everybody so that everybody's included and everybody's involved? And it was really quite a journey, because initially I launched a product that was not that different. It was kind of like a soft launch, but it was like everything else. I'll show you. They were vegan and cruelty free.
So this is your first brush.
This is the first brush. It's from the archive.
An archaeological. Next time we go to to British Museum, we'll find one of these.
And is it the real or is it artificial?
No, everything was vegan and cruelty free, because the one thing that I knew I wanted to do was make sure that I wasn't harming any animals or people in the process of whatever I was going to do. But yeah, this was the original.
But now I can see why this is for instance, your brushes are hardly round.
Yes.
Hardly cylindrical. Can you talk about this a little bit?
Yes.
Can we compare it with
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you ever try her brushes?
No, I have not.
You see, this is square. This is square, and this is round.
Yeah. So basically, when it comes to the brushes, like this was version 1 and it didn't go anywhere. And it became very obvious why this wasn't going anywhere, because the branding was awful. I wish I had a peeled off one. The branding was awful. It wasn't really anything meaningful. It looked like everything else. And immediately I learned so much about branding. And I think the one most important thing I learned about branding in this process was it has to be a balance between you as an individual and your goals. And there has to be that compromise in between. And this was just purely market research and not really innovation in any way. And so I quickly realized, like, people aren't going to buy this. And this means nothing to me. So I infused elements of like my lifestyle and my beliefs. And I started to think about, you know, what are the people that can't use makeup? Is there a problem with including everybody in the same product? And of course, yeah, you know, the one community that we don't really think about, now we started to, which is great. But back in 2016, when I started this process and this journey, nobody thought about the disability market. And this was the first product that we brought out.
Can you also explain how these two products that you have shown, like the yellow one and this one, help the disability?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Different ways though. So version 1 is the shapes collection. These were a very classic rose gold white mix. But it's mainly the handle, it's the grip. It's the grip of the body and the fact that the brush stands. So the idea is it stands on a table. You don't have to worry about rolling around anywhere. You don't have to worry about not being able to find it. But also the grip is easy for everyone to use. So what we did was we did loads of research with loads of people with different disabilities, looked at what was kind of like a happy medium for them to hold, long enough for some, short enough for some, and created a balanced product. So we released the collection of these. Now, this is like a twist on the oval brush. But the one thing that was really important with these brushes was to make sure that they were also 100% sustainable, 100% vegan, cruelty-free, and, you know, as well as just kind of easy for the user. So like something that people don't think about is autism. People with autism have sensory issues. They may not be able to touch or feel certain things. This was something that they were happy with putting on their face. And some of them literally can't wear face masks.
You tried it with all the groups that you, right.
Yeah.
And am I wrong, or the head of this one is flexible as well?
That's the next version.
When you say it's 100% sustainable, so if I want to go and recycle it, it's easily recyclable.
Yeah. I mean, most of the body is nylon, and nylon is one of the materials where it's upcyclable rather than just recyclable. In fact, actually, most of our stuff is made out of plastic waste. So we actually operate a fully circular economy, and that's been something that's been really important to us. And it's a boundary that we keep pushing. I mean, I'll show you guys the rice brushes in a second, because that was really cool and really exciting. But then as time went on, like V2 of this was the flex collection. So these bend and they also twist. So like if you need to have it fixed in this position, we have elastics that we can provide you with. So if somebody needs to hold their brush literally like this to do their makeup, they can. Or if they, have a tremor and they can't control the pressure, they don't have to worry about hurting themselves. So that's like the flex collection.
Can I challenge you a little bit?
Yeah, go ahead. Of course.
After all, this is what our podcast about.
Exactly.
So I use makeup every day myself. Probably don't have any visible disabilities, but we all are disabled in one way or another. But there is a way to do makeup with my fingers. I can just use cotton pad. I can use any sort of a sponges, which I have.
You can.
So this is my question. So you think specifically...
And also that's dirty.
Well, I mean, but that's the thing. Isn't it more organic or more suitable for human beings to use whatever sort of around them rather than outsource tools to facilitate that?
I think it also depends on your personal choices, to be honest. I would probably never use my fingers for makeup, because the one thing that I learned when I was training, and the one thing that I learned a lot in school, was how much bacteria we carry in our fingers. We don't realize. Obviously, I mean
since 2020, we have realized.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's
March
true.
2020.
Brushes against COVID.
Yeah, literally. But also, like some people prefer to use like tools, but also you got to think about sustainability from product usage. We live in an expensive world. The last thing I want is to have my product soaking into a cotton pad and just being wasted. Our brushes are coated. So what that basically means is that whatever product I put on this, it's going to use all of it, and then it's clean again, basically. So it also means that you don't have to wash your brushes as often. You should still do once a week, but it uses all the product. I'll show you with a highlighter, actually.
Oh, yes.
Actually,
love highlighter.
Let me do that now.
We love that.
Yeah. Drupi, do you use a lot of makeup?
I don't use any makeup at all. Sometimes, I'll tell you this. There was a makeup brand in Italy called Madina. It's a very good brand. It has been bought by Kiko, I think now, produced in the same place. And I've got a friend of mine who is a makeup artist for films. She's a key makeup artist, and she introduced me to this powder, which is colorless and is not a real powder. It's made of silicone, so it's transparent. Doesn't give you any color, but it removes all the oily areas. And it was from this brand, Madina, and I use that. You can only apply it with brush. Okay, that one, because the silicone is solid until it goes on the brush and it becomes powder. But if you touch it with your fingers, you don't obtain the same effect. So that product can only be used with a brush. And I use that a lot because to remove the oily parts. That's about the only thing I use in terms of makeup.
Are you ever tempted to use any makeup to for me, it's just very fascinating topic, because I think especially lately, whereas more products advertised in makeup industry targeted towards men. Actually, if you go around London these days, like Space and Cave, and now have male models on their banners.
Yeah.
So I'm quite curious, even maybe from insider perspective, is a big part of your consumer now male audience, or is it or you also mentioned transgender? Do you think makeup is still female sort of key focus, or do you think now everyone is experimenting with that? And also, Drupi, you as a consumer, very interested. Do you think you will start doing makeup every day at some point?
I don't think makeup is my thing. Sometimes I like to paint my nails, but once per I've
done your nails once.
You've done my nails once, exactly like yours.
I love that.
And no, but that's about the only thing I use. Sometimes I feel compelled to use concealer. I mean, I feel the urge to use concealer because I tend to have dark circles, but eventually I don't. Like I want to
You
use
just
it,
embrace darkness.
Exactly. I just embrace dark circles and tight look. But yeah, that's the only thing. But I do use Trishna's brushes.
Yes.
When I have to apply my my peeling masks. It's very useful for that.
True.
Wow.
True.
Well, I'm very tempted now. But yeah, what do you think about male makeup? Do you think it's generally a bigger market now, or it always has been? It was just not maybe publicly discussed.
Honestly, like I've been thinking and seeing male makeup ever since I was young. I mean, Boy George, hello, like
but this is true. But but that's not at a commercial level.
But you work in city, you work in banks. How many of your banking colleagues?
Well, you know what? Actually, I remember there was this guy at school when I was at school in Hong Kong. He must have been German. And he used to use makeup every day because he had bad acne. I mean, I think there's like different levels of what people choose and what they choose to use it for. I definitely feel like male makeup is more, it's more like touching up. It still is on a commercial level. I feel like there are some really great brands. You know, there's a brand called Shake Up, which is actually dedicated to male makeup. And I definitely see it becoming more and more of a big part of the market. I mean, I also think like people are starting to understand that skincare comes along with tools as well, whether that be, you know, a gua sha or a facial roller. But I just feel like, you know, there is definitely an awareness and more of a comfort. I mean, look at Harry Styles, you know, I feel like we're definitely, especially after the pandemic, in a little bit of a who cares, you know, let everyone be whoever they want to be, let them do whatever they want moment. And I certainly am noticing that, especially with makeup and cosmetics, because I feel like people are starting to feel like getting ready again. You know, I can't express to you how little I use makeup now than 5 or 6 years ago, purely because I feel more confident about not necessarily having to wear it every day. Doesn't mean I don't love it. Doesn't mean I don't look at my mirror and go, should have put a bit of concealer on today. But I'm definitely more comfortable after the pandemic without. But I still feel epic when I have it on.
We have also seen things like, what's that TV show called? Euphoria, where the crazy makeups, and I'm seeing our students using those that very, very specific recognizable makeup all the time. And that is also, I think, an effect of pandemic, because when you don't care about your appearance too much, you tend to express in two ways, either going crazy or going frumpy.
So,
and we are seeing both of them.
True. I mean, I definitely have my days, I can say that. I have my frumpy days for sure. But yeah, it still, you know, has had a massive impact. And I think even when you do those euphoria expressive creative looks, something about it is so mesmerizing, but also so hard.
I think makeup is incredible. Being a practitioner pretty much on a daily basis. Sometimes when I'm having a very shitty day, putting on my makeup changes how I feel about the day, how I feel about myself. I think it's incredibly powerful tool. And what you say about growing up and lacking confidence, I can really relate to that. I struggled with really bad acne when I was a teenager.
Really?
Very bad acne.
But your skin is so good now.
Well, Trippy, I invested into it. But
give me literature.
I shall send you some links. But basically, with acne, obviously you're being made fun at school. It's very unpleasant social experience. It's not only about how you see it, it's how, when we discussed, is the acknowledgement of other people. And I remember I came home one day and my mom gave me this Soviet encyclopedia style book about health, and there was acne section. And often when I would go to doctors in, you know, post-Soviet world, they would tell me, you know, don't use makeup, it's going to clog your pores, it's bad for you. And often you are being discouraged from using makeup, especially also in school, we're very funny about that. And the encyclopedia said, actually, there's not much you can do to change it, but put on concealer and go out and make yourself feel better. And since then, I've been practicing it. So, a post-Soviet encyclopedia really helped me feel better about myself.
So those suggestions that they were giving you, don't put makeup because you will clog your pores, is a bit like saying don't masturbate because you go blind. So it's using it's using like a medical fake medical evidence to drive your moral attitudes towards something nice.
I'm going to demonstrate how this brush uses everything. Okay, so I think you can vouch for this. This is a cream highlighter, right?
Yeah, confirmed. Yeah. Fact checked.
Highlighter.
Highlighter. Yeah. Okay.
Shall we get closer?
Yeah, well, who wants to give me their hand? We need a demo hand. Okay. All right. So I've picked this up on my brush.
Mm-hmm.
I am using this on Juby's arm. All the product has been applied. Your brush is clean.
Oh wow!
You could literally.
You can use it again,
and you can use this in whatever you want.
Oh wow!
How did you manage to achieve it? Like, did you like? This is quite incredible to see it in practice.
Mm-hmm. They're all like
so this is the type of fiber, right?
Yeah. They're all like this. They're all designed to be like that. Yeah, it's a coating. It's actually a coating on top of the hair. So this hair is a nylon blend, but as time's gone on, we've evolved. So we use more like different kinds of plastic. Our newest collection is made out of ocean waste plastic. I've literally been collecting ocean waste plastic for a year to create this new product. And I'm so excited for it to launch.
Amazing.
We've started using rice fibers, kelp fibers. So we're kind of getting a little bit more organic with where we're collecting material from. But this has a coating on it, which is kind of similar to Teflon or like a nonstick pan. So that you get.
It's really amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't.
Completely clean.
Yes. I wanted to ask you two things. One, if you can talk about your packaging, because that's an interesting part of your business in terms of sustainability. As you can see, I know your products.
Yes. Yes,
you've
done your research.
You're a fan.
And the second thing is, if you can talk about the way in which you developed your brushes thought for blind people. That is extremely, I think, fascinating because we don't associate blindness with makeup. And
ever.
Ever. And that's a big problem because it's like depriving them from the right to use makeup. I don't know. So, yeah.
Well, let's start off with the visual impairment stuff or low vision.
Yeah.
Because low vision is something that, a lot of people struggle with. But something that's important to know about the low vision community is that only 10% of people that suffer with blindness, not suffer, that's not really the right word. People that, who are blind, basically, or people that have low vision, they don't all read Braille. In fact, only 10% of that community do read Braille. So it's important to know that there needs to be some kind of alternative to be able to discover what am I using? And so we did this in a couple of ways. Okay, so let's start with visual impairments or low vision, because when you look at the low vision community, as I already mentioned, they all do not read Braille necessarily, only 10% do. So not only were we left with the challenge of a couple of things. One is we have to think about the other communities because I wouldn't want to create a product that neglects everybody else. So motor disabilities still had to have some kind of form of inclusion in this. And that's where this handle came into play.
Square handle.
The square handle. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yes.
So the square handle was designed for easy grip.
Yeah, show the bottom so that they can see the square. The bottom of the brush. Yeah.
That's smart.
There you go.
Okay. So then that played a big role in it because I wanted to still make sure it was accessible to those who we were already catering to. But also it's great to have a brush that doesn't roll away. Like the fact that this is on the table where I left it, I don't have to worry about sanitizing it because it fell on the floor. It's going to be there. So that was also a big practical element of it. The other was there are two different types of stickers. So at the front, you have a raised number. This is brush number 1. I don't know if you guys can see that. So there is a raised number at the front.
So that you can touch.
That you can touch, you can feel. And then on the back, there is that number in Braille.
In Braille.
So if you can't read the Braille, you can learn the Braille. You know, it's brush number 1.
Oh, right.
And it's also a part of an audio guide. Now, how do I know if I have no vision? If I'm blind, how do I know that this brush is brush number 1? If I can't read the Braille, it's down to the way that it feels. And each brush also has an audio description where you can feel this and it describes an ordinary object.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, if I ask you guys, what does this feel like to you?
I don't know.
How would you describe it?
Water hose.
A water hose, okay.
It looks like petting a very soft rabbit to me.
Okay, so good thing you guys are not making my audio guide.
Oh, suddenly it got very fetishistic. Water hose and petting a rabbit.
Yes, they are very soft, right? I mean,
very soft.
They are very soft. But what I was really going for was, if I had to describe this, it's going to be very difficult to communicate it. So I went to the Royal National Institute of Blind People in King's Cross.
Yeah.
And I basically met this guy called Neil, and he felt all the brushes and he told me what they felt like.
Right.
And he said, this one, brush number 1, feels like a mini tea rosebud.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh. And it was quite nice because it wasn't makeup specific. So it really just kind of goes to show, like, anybody that's felt a rosebud knows that this feels like a rosebud.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Now I see it.
So this,
Unfortunately, use the words.
Yes.
I perceive what. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was how we basically went about them. But this information is available through accessing it via an audio guide, or we have an audio guide, but we also have written. So if you can't hear, you can read.
Right.
Packaging. This is where the packaging comes into play. So this is the box for Feast Your Eyes. And on the side here is a raised QR code.
Mm-hmm.
Now, thanks to COVID, everybody can scan a QR code, which is amazing. But the raised QR code is a very common thing when it comes to helping people that are blind. So they recognize it, they feel that it's raised, they scan it, and it leads them to the audio guide, which corresponds to the brushes. So they get the information of which brush is which, and how to clean it and how to look after it.
Yeah, also maybe, I don't know how much our audience is aware of this, but there are amazing tools for blind people now for using the phone. And I know this because I've got a friend of my mother who is somebody I grew up with who is blind, and she keeps a constant she keeps writing to me. I write to her on Facebook, and she uses emojis. And then I realize that she has a lot of help from her phone. So it really makes their lives very easy. So they can scan things and use a mobile phone just like anybody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's the best thing about, Apple in particular. Apple is super accessible. So when it comes to like helping people with blindness, low vision, motor disabilities, Apple, I think, is like really ahead of the game when it comes to accessibility. Yeah. And so it's little things like this that, I think everyone can do to make more people be able to use our products, regardless of what they are. I mean, this could be on food packaging too, like an ingredients list.
So it's great because you think of the product in a holistic way, also keeping in mind, not only they are touch and feel sensations, but also the technological possibilities that they have outside of the product itself, like the phones and all that. That's great.
Yeah,
very exciting.
And how is the packaging?
So this is actually designed like a little takeaway noodle box. And it's all made out of paper and recycled plastic bottles. And it's got a double window, so you can see both sides of the brushes.
Right.
I actually really like the double window.
Yes.
Oh, that's very cute. Right. Do you have a favorite product in your whole range, or is there something you're particularly excited?
That's like picking your children. I just like newness. Like I like working on new products, new brushes, new colors. I love the concept building of it. I love linking it to like my history. I love linking it to Hong Kong, and I like pushing boundaries. So, you know, whatever inspires me at that moment in time. I think the creation of something new and bringing it to life is really cool.
Can we talk, speaking of which, can we talk about your newborn baby, which you are very excited about?
Super excited about.
Ooh,
yeah.
Tell us.
So meet the Quickie Stickies.
The Quickie Stickies.
So it's really important to say that actually this is a fully sustainable product to the point where actually you can reuse the stickies up to 3 times. You can see I've very nicely stuck mine back. But they're not made out of plastic. They're actually made out of paper. It's actually FSC certified paper, rice paper backing, and soy ink printing. So in theory, you could eat this if you wanted to.
Oh, right.
Now, eyeliner is a challenge for a lot of people. Yeah. It's not just about, you know, exclusively for people that can't do it. I think a lot of people really genuinely can't do eyeliner. It's one of the most frustrating things. And I thought, let's just make it easy. So in this pack, you've got adhesive eye stencils, one for the right eye, one for the left eye, 6 different pairs on a sheet. And you basically stick them on, shade it in, and peel it off, and you have your perfect look. But we're still accessible. So in the back corner, you've got the embossed shape linking to the QR code, which is our audio video guide and written. And basically the idea is you stick them on, shade it in, and peel it off. And it's designed to do eyeliner in 20 seconds. So these are the Quickie Stickies, and I love them. They've been so exciting to have and use and create.
And very successful as well.
Super fun. Yeah. And really, I think it's something that like people just needed. I think we just needed an easy way to do eyeliner. Someone actually ordered them for a wedding, which I thought was really cool.
A wedding?
Yeah. She was like, I'm doing my sister-in-law's wedding makeup and I need Quickie Stickies. And I was like, okay, let's do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll get married quickly.
Yeah.
Quickie wedding.
Quickie wedding. Quickie Stickies.
Shall we try them on?
Yes.
Yeah,
I actually think we should do a challenge.
A challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, don't we love a challenge? Drippy, how adventurous you are in competition? Like, are you competitive?
Zero. I despise competition.
Really? You never want to be the best? Or you already know you are the best?
I don't want to mingle with inferiors.
Really?
Because I know I'm the best. No, I'm joking. No, but I am not a very competitive. I don't know. For instance, in sports, I hate competitive sports. I love going to the gym because I'm competing with myself, but yeah, I'm not very good at competing with others. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting thing. And I'm sure I'm going to be worse at this because I don't have any practical abilities. But
let's put it to the test.
Let's
put it to the test.
If it survives the Juppy test, it means it's extremely easy to use.
Yeah.
But I doubt because I'm really not very practically skilled.
Well, I'm going to let you pick an eye.
Just one.
Just one?
Let's try and do 20 seconds. 20
Black
second
eye.
eyeliner.
Okay.
20
That's
seconds.
your right eye.
Shall I?
Do the left.
The left. Okay.
That's your sticky?
Mirror.
Yes, absolutely. You can.
Okay, I have to also pick one.
So that's it. As you can see, it has the shape of the eyeliner. If I wanted to use makeup on a daily basis, that would be my go-to, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to give you guys some brushes.
Because you apply...
I don't know, Juppy.
I
guess I need to mirror.
So you apply the eyeliner with brushes, not with the eyeliner.
To be honest, you can do it with whatever you want.
Right.
I just think eyeshadow is like a little bit less idiot proof.
Right. Okay. I see.
Like eyeshadow will always give me a better finish. But to be honest, when I do eyeliner anyway, I prefer to do eyeshadow. It's like a softer look. Mm-hmm. I mean, with this, you're not going to get a softer look anyway. But yeah, let me get you guys some brushes, some eye shadows as well.
Sure.
Any color preference, guys?
as dark as possible.
Purple, if you have to suit whatever I've been going for, but
Yeah, I'm curious to see how Alexandra, with her big Slavic eyes, manages to.
Not to poke myself in the eye. Poke myself in the big Slavic eye.
Hope not.
Are you ready?
I think I am. Left eye with left hand is not okay.
I'm doing the same, so it's fair.
Okay, it's fair. Okay. It's fair.
Or you can use the screen, guys.
No.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go.
Ready? Go.
Okay, Julie. Very advanced.
Wow.
This is amazing.
Because I'm very
Wow. Oh my
makeup
gosh.
already.
They need to see, but this is extremely neat.
You did this in 16 seconds.
Okay. Okay. This is something. Wow. It's unbelievable. I mean, you know that when we talked about this product before, I never trusted you. Oh my gosh.
16 seconds. You did that in
16 seconds. And I am an idiot when it comes to these things.
Cool.
Okay.
There you
Wow.
go.
It's very good. Approach the screen so they can see. But I am amazed. In 16 seconds, I made a wow.
The second one.
And it makes my eyes so big. Now I understand why people use makeup. Seriously. This is my baptism into makeup.
Well, welcome.
Yeah, indeed.
Well, that was, and Drippy, you won, by the way. You know,
I won.
what do we say? Fortune favors the beginners.
No,
or...
I told you I'm the best. I don't compete because I'm the best, and I proved it.
All right, Drippy. Well done, well done.
Yeah. Well, you guys look great.
Well, thank you
One
very much.
eye.
Thanks to
I look half great. She looks great. I look half great.
Yes, sir, I can help. We just had a quickie, Drippy.
We had a quickie.
Yes, just now.
And we had audience as well.
Yeah, it was arranged. It was
a threesome quickie.
With voyeurism involved. Okay, let's go back to seriousness.
Before we start the OnlyFans.
Yes.
Yes.
That was a
would be
warm
great.
up.
Can you imagine convincing people to subscribe to OnlyFans and only do makeup instead
I'm
of
sure
instead of
that's
naked
something
pictures?
exists.
I'm sure there must be a
pretty
fetish
sure.
for that. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and we can, and we already know the name. We have threesome with quickie.
Yeah.
Mhm. Sponsored by Quickie Stickies.
If you're short for time, get yourself glowing in no time.
Oh, just before closing, I wanted to say, do you have an event coming up?
I do actually. I do have an event coming up. So it's going to be from the 9th to the 12th of June, and it's going to be at 100 Shoreditch in the pop-up space. And it's going to be very exciting. The secret theme is TBC. It's very exciting.
Oh, wow.
Every Kohl Kreatives experience is an immersive experience, so prepare to be transported.
Great.
Well, we already had been transformed today with our look. Look at Drippy, you're looking so glam with your makeup and one eye makeup.
One eye make.
Half makeup.
I love how you keep emphasizing the half.
Yeah.
Half. Well, that's a gorgeous half. And we are very excited, and watch out Kohl Kreatives next immersive experience. And Trishna, where can people find your products? Where can we buy them?
It depends on where they are, to be honest. It depends also what they're looking for. So we have a few stockists in the UK. We're at Whole Foods, Oxygen Boutique, obviously our website, Feel Unique. No, not yet. I wish. Soon, I hope. Yes.
Oh,
and we also are obviously online or on our own store, kohlkreatives.com. And in America, we are retailing with Neiman Marcus, which is very exciting.
Neiman Marcus.
Mhm.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Also, I obviously our main audience is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We invite everyone to go check on our YouTube channel as well, because this episode was very visually
stimulating.
Yeah, stimulating.
Yeah, after all, we didn't have quickie for
Exactly.
nothing.
I think people really need to see that.
Yes.
It was a vibe.
Yeah. Every other episode is okay on Spotify, but this one specifically, it's probably the one that they should check on YouTube. Yes.
Yeah. Well, until next time, college has gone very bad.
Extremely.
Thanks for having me.